To get premium trading and investing tips, support on Patreon. How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another FIFA Trading 101 video. Today we're going to be talking about the player of the month investing, and I'll explain you guys why I think this is a pretty good investment method, but it requires quite some gambling. Now, the more you'll gamble here, the more the better the outcome for you will be, the more returns on investment you'll get, just because you're predicting here who's going to be the player of the month. Now, let's say in the first week of the month, sometime in October, there's, I don't know, Aubameyang who scores 3 goals in the first game, and you're expecting him to play the next 3 games pretty solid. What you can do actually here, if he's going to continue that run, if he's going to score more goals, if he's going to, let's say at the end of the month, have 6-7 goals, and you're gambling on that one in the first week, if you go and buy Arsenal cards, the 84 rated, the 83 rated ones, the cards that are informs there, and also maybe Aubameyang gold card, you could potentially sell it in the hype. Now, there are 2 hype periods throughout the player of the month investing. Let's say that you have gambled in the first week with Aubameyang and he's playing really well, and after the next 3 weeks he's probably gonna get the player of the month. Everybody in the game believes he's gonna be the next player of the month. So what you basically are doing here is you're seeing most of the Arsenal, the informs, like the players he can link up to going up in value. Now, if you see them going up in value, what I usually would recommend at this specific stage after the 3 weeks time period before the player of the month is released, to sell these cards. Why I want you to sell? Because you want to be safe to sell in the hype if there's a possibility that someone else will get it. Now, if you're almost certain that the player of the month will be won by that specific card that you invested in our example, Aubameyang, I would probably still recommend you to sell just to be safe. But sometimes you can hold, like if you're into gambling, you know that this card is going to be player of the month, and you believe that there's going to be a requirement, you hold them for a bit longer. Now, what usually happens is that a lot of people mistake the requirements for the specific player of the month, and to not be one of those people, to not mess it up, to not get a curveball by EA when they provide the SBC out, I would really recommend you wait at the very release of the player of the month. If there are specific cards needed that you cap, sell them right away in the hype, because what usually happened, and even in FIFA 18 we saw some specific cards go really up, maybe even like informs. I remember Lukaku going completely extinct as an inform card, but then when he got his price ranged up, he went back down in value. So always try to sell in the hype. There are, as I said at the beginning, there are 2 periods of hype. The first hype period is the period where you try and sell the cards when everybody is in expectation of the player of the month and they think that these cards are gonna be required. Now, the second window is when these cards are actually required. This is a very risky, a more risky approach that you can take, but if you're lucky with it, you're gonna make way more coins than with the safe method. Now, another thing here to note is that when the SBC is released, and if a lot of people invested in specific cards that they're not needed, go and observe those cards, because those cards usually get panic sold. And if you exploit it, yeah, they're gonna be low for quite some time, but you can buy those cards, you can buy them, store them in your club, wait a few days, and they're gonna probably go back up. Usually, like in 95% of the times, they go back up whenever they get panic sold because of an SBC and they're not needed. Now, the player of the month investments, like the contenders for the player of the month, Bundesliga and Premier League, they are all linked on FUTBIN. You can see all the stats. I'm gonna provide the links below in the description, but I don't know if FUTBIN is gonna keep them for the next year with FIFA 20. I don't know what EA is gonna do, if they're gonna keep player of the month investing or not, but whatever happens, like if it's still gonna be a thing and if it's needed, this information is probably really valuable for someone that's getting right into trading and wants to know how to start with player of the month investing. If you have any questions, drop them down below. I'll be happy to help, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.